Alien sightings at Bayside
8
Marketplace.
to 10 foot aliens.
On New Year's Day, a large police presence was caught on video surrounding a mall in Miami.
Aliens were spotted in Miami?
Government is unfair! Aliens are somewhere!
This is the story on how I faked an alien invasion and then became famous on accident. In December of last year, I was right over there and I had this idea. I want to go to Florida and I want to fake a whole big alien invasion.
That's actually the best idea I've ever heard.
In January, there was a huge police presence at a mall in Miami. And I don't know if you guys saw what happened, but there was tons of articles coming out saying, oh, shadow aliens. Everyone was freaking out over this. Do you guys remember this happening? Yeah. There are plenty of aliens in Florida. Fact. I was right around there. I saw a mysterious creature. You're probably asking, like, who are these people commenting? Who is spreading this false narrative? Who is John Stanton? John Stanton is me. So I spent an insane amount of time. This is the most unemployed I've ever felt in my entire life.
I left probably upwards of like 300 comments.
And I don't know if I was just like a drop of water in the ocean or if I was the straw that broke the camel's back. And so this leads me to wonder, like, can I go to Florida and do this thing myself, not just be the loser comments online? If I were to do that, how much money would this cost me? So I drove 12 hours all the way down to Tampa, and I spent 2 weeks in an Airbnb. I only left for one thing consistently, and that was to fake an alien invasion. So I would leave to film, I would leave to network, I would leave to put up flyers. I'll talk about all that soon. Firstly, I acquired an Airbnb. It was pretty expensive for 2 weeks. An alien mask, an alien costume. And after that, I acquired an alien. I didn't purchase this. I had a producer do it for me. This is gonna matter later. I acquired caution tape, I acquired drone, I acquired lights, and most importantly, I acquired a guy named Travis. So, who is Travis? So this is Travis. He was my babysitter and also my cameraman, so he was helping me do this whole thing. And yes, I did pay him. Okay, thank you. If I go on the news and start talking about aliens, they're gonna know something's up. I look like the type of kid who's gonna fake an alien invasion. So what I needed was a reputable source to be this liar for me. Who here has seen Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan? Have you actually? Okay, wow, that's crazy, because I was gonna say no person under the age 50 has ever seen that movie. Well, you're gonna freak out right now, because the person I ended up getting is Laura Banks.
Oh my God!
Extra! She is the navigator of Khan.
I remember her.
For the 3 people in the entire world that are Anthpo and Laura Banks fans, this is a crazy collab. And I was curious, I was like, why the fuck would Laura Banks, C-list Hollywood celebrity, want to help me fake an alien invasion? Sure enough, I find out it is literally only to promote her book.
Whoopi Goldberg and I had a true spontaneous combustion in San Diego, which is all in my book, which I hope to shamelessly promote, The Wrath of Blonde, which is my 4th book, and it was about the making of Star Trek II and other wild Hollywood adventures as an Amazon in outer space.
All things considered, I really, really liked Laura Banks. She was super willing to do all this dumb shit, and you're like, what dumb shit? Well, we went to an alley and we set up all this fake shit. We got hazmat suits and fake police lights. We did this for like 3 hours, and then what we decided on was this.
Oh, excuse me, miss. You cannot be recording. Excuse me.
I like that take because she moans in the end. That's not the only thing we did though. We recorded a shitload of contingency stuff to further sell the story. I got this grainy photo I took on a flip phone, and then I faked this lab blood report. I bought this drone and I would fly it over top of Tampa at night. I would do this every night at like 11 p.m. I also faked this. Yeah, so he gets beamed up. My producer hired a VFX artist who took a month to make this.
What am I looking at?
That was on screen for 4 frames and I got charged $3,000 for that.
Can we see it again?
Yeah, we can watch it again, yeah.
Wow. Oh. Wow.
I'm putting in the work, I'm building up all this evidence, and this is all leading to something, and that is a website. So this is a third-party website who, it's me obviously, who's putting all the information here. Laura then posts the information on her Facebook. This is how fake news works. A news station picks something up and poses a question. Is this real? And then another news station will take that fake news and then they sit with it for a second and then they go, this is real. I needed somebody to report on what Laura was doing. And that is where Travi.Martins comes into play. He sees Laura Banks' Facebook post and then he makes this video.
Last night, this old lady posted this video on my local Facebook group. And this is like 3 blocks away from me. There's 2 guys in a hazmat suit, 1 guy in a suit, just like holding some type of figure.
It did well. Tampa, for a brief stint, was freaking out over aliens. When Travis and I would walk outside, he was like a niche celebrity around Tampa because he was the alien guy. Tons of people were asking for updates. His posts did incredibly well. In addition to that, I posted over on 4chan. Somebody posted this. They thought just because it wasn't AI, it was clearly like fully real.
We got posted on Reddit, we got posted on Facebook. The hoax was making its rounds.
If I wanted to take this to the next level, I needed to do something in real life. What I decided on was a protest. The idea was we were gonna march for answers, and if like 200,000 people saw Travi.Martins talking about aliens, people were gonna wanna show up to this alien protest. And in case you couldn't make that, it's totally fine. We've got another protest, Saturday, February 17th. The next thing I did was I needed to promote the event, and Travis obviously was gonna promote it, but I wanted like another figure in on this. So I used the alien costume and I made this video.
Aliens are real and I have proof.
Legalize illegal aliens.
I am hosting a protest this Friday and Saturday. A protest for the truth.
So I made that video. And my thought process is like, I'm gonna get a fuckload of people at this protest now. I love it. Yeah, I had so much fun making that video, and I had nothing else to do on like day 10 that I made another one.
Where are all the fine Latino women?
Legalize illegal aliens.
Shout out to all of my fans.
So yeah, I lost the plot a little bit there. The protest was gonna be in 3 days, so I needed to start marketing even more. There was a pirate festival happening in Tampa, and I'm like fucking gotta go to the pirate festival, right? I stapled the flyers to the alien costume, and then I ran around for like 3 hours. And the great thing about being in a crazy costume around drunk people is that everybody wants to take pictures, and in every single photo is the flyer. So I've got 3 different verticals promoting this alien thing. I've got Laura's crazy ass and the news. I've got Travis on TikTok. I've got all these people posting this alien with a flyer on him. In my head, there's gonna be 1 billion people at this protest. The owner of the Airbnb got a call from the police.
One of my guests staying there. I don't know. Let me call and find out. I said I can't just give you their information, but I'll call them and find out.
So the police, I guess, traced the uploads of these posters and found the address of the Airbnb, and they're like, oh my God, these people are throwing a fucking massive protest.
Oh no.
That's good.
That's good.
That's good.
You know, the protest is the next day at this point. I'm shitting my pants. I'm like, we're gonna show up and I'm gonna get arrested for dressing up like a stupid fucking alien. I understand, like in their head, you know, they've been seeing these posters everywhere. You know, I hung them up everywhere. They probably saw them all over social media. Travi.Martins was posting about it on TikTok.
If you're free on February 16th at 1 p.m. at USF, you can literally join an alien protest.
After I did all this, I wanted one more thing to convince people to come to this protest. So I made business cards. You're invited to the alien protest, Tampa City Hall, 1 p.m. Saturday. The backside, Pedro Pascal will be there. He was there. I ran into Pedro Pascal in Tampa. No, I'm fucking with you guys. This was a lookalike that I found, and he was really convincing. He said he would only do it if we went out drinking that night. So I went out drinking with Pedro Pascal, and literally we couldn't go anywhere. Everybody was just coming up and asking for pictures, and when they would, we would give them the business card. So we handed out 200 business cards that night. Even Moist Critical believed in it. So the next day was the protest. And I'm like, it's either gonna be the largest protest ever and it's gonna be an issue, or it's gonna be the exact type of people that I think are gonna show up. And it was the exact type of people that I thought were gonna show up.
The government is unfair!
Aliens are somewhere!
The government is unfair! The government is unfair!
Aliens are somewhere!
We did this for like 3 hours, and there was a lot of people recording us, but there was literally like only 30 of us.
We gather here today not as mere spectators in the theater of the cosmos, but as active participants in a story that is unraveling at an unprecedented pace.
I was really worried the police were going to intervene, but literally the only reason the police ended up staying was because they wanted to take pictures with Pedro Pascal. At this point, we're like, okay, this Pedro Pascal thing is working, so we just full pivoted into that.
We might have Pedro Pascal!
As soon as we started talking about Pedro Pascal, a line started forming. And now everyone doesn't give a fuck about the aliens. They're just like, Pedro Pascal's at University of Southern Florida.
Pedro Pascal is single! Pedro Pascal is single! Pedro Pascal is single!
Yeah, dude. We ended up making 2 very big mistakes that kind of ruined this entire operation. As you guys can see here, this post made its way over to Reddit. And the top comment is, that's literally an alien prop that you can order online. This had 160 upvotes the day before, and it now has 0. And sure enough, the producer that bought this, they didn't really do thorough research, because if you look up dead alien prop, it is the first thing to come up. So that failed miserably. You're like, oh, well, what about the news? Because we still have the other side of things. I shot 150 emails throughout the 2 weeks. This person said, "Good afternoon, Travi. Thank you for contacting. We noticed Laura Banks will be starring in a YouTube series about recreating alien abductions this March per her website." And I clicked that link. Laura, when I hired her, just posted publicly on her Facebook about the whole series. So the only real news that ended up coming out was everybody was talking about Pedro Pascal being in Tampa. Most Critical posted a photo with him, so it's definitely possible he was actually here. Before I get into my favorite part of this entire video, I want to talk about misinformation. Make sure you're being like a good amount of skeptical of information you receive on the internet. And most importantly, don't do this. This is stupid, I'm an idiot, and I got nothing out of this. We're gonna talk a little bit about how much money I spent on this whole thing, but it is not good. The beginning of this presentation, I talked about how I faked an alien invasion and then accidentally became famous. So you guys might remember this alien costume that I had bought. I ended up really liking this character, and so after the protest failed and I had nothing to do in Tampa for a day, just kind of went out and filmed a couple things, just for fun. I had nothing to do.
What is a Bitcoin? Why don't instead you get some bitches? Why do people get so butthurt about trans people when they don't even do anything to you? I don't see that much hate about bears, and bears fuck people up all the time. I love black women.
Shout out to all of you.
I didn't expect anything to come from this. Sure enough, I became a fucking based alien celebrity. Like, I gained 100,000 followers pretty much overnight. Like, this started as me trying to fake an alien invasion, and now I've got this like fan base. I love your videos, please don't die. Could I fake an alien invasion? Inconclusive. You know, I might have contributed to the mall thing. I don't want to sit here and, you know, get credit for it, because I don't know how much my several hundred comments did for the greater part of it. Could I speak my truth? Yes, I could. And then the total cost, this is an estimate. It's definitely a bit more than this, but I didn't really want to look all that much. Laura was really upset about this. You know, she's a Hollywood actress. She understands how passionate I was about this thing. She starts mass texting me and calling me. She's really upset, right? So in order to make it up to her, I actually got and read her entire book. All I did the last 2 days was just sit around and read The Wrath of Blonde. And let me tell you what I think about this book. A deeply personal tale about a woman willing to share too much. I would never admit to myself that I'm envious, angry, horny, yet Laura lays it all out on the table. Admitting to having had phone sex with Jack Nicholson and fantasizing about being JFK's boyfriend. And yet, I'm not kidding, I cried reading this book. In an age of misinformation, appealing to algorithms, and a mad dash for the top spot, Laura Banks' authenticity is refreshing and beautifully human. When you take a chance and pursue your dreams with your head held high, you won't become the biggest star there ever was.
Or fail miserably.
You'll probably become
Laura Banks.
beaten and bruised,
But happy you did it. Happy in spite of it all.
Yeah, that's spot on. Pretty touched by that. I'm pretty touched by that. That's spot on, man.
I know you guys are all wondering, is that alien gonna make an appearance? Yes, they are. Give it up for that alien! First of all, I mean, thank you so much for coming. Do you want to just like tell the people about what it was like to be such an overnight celebrity?
Hey, lovely people, and hello, Les Hot's Timothy Chalamet. Firstly, thank you for having me. You all look so...
Thanks for coming, guys.